Keep your spine straight. Close your eyes. Take a deep breath in and exhale. Take a deep breath in and exhale. Take a deep breath in. Hold it there. Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Om Shri Saraswatyai Namaha. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Samasta Jana Kalyane Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahma Vidvaram Sadgurum Brahma Vidvaram Yo Antah Pravishya Mama Vacham Imam Prasuptam Sanjeevayatyakila Shakti Dharasvadhamna अन्यांशहस्तचरणश्रवणत्वगादीन् प्राणान्नमो भगवते पुरुषाय तुभ्यं प्राणान्नमो भगवते पुरुषाय तुभ्यं रूपं दृश्यं लोचनं दृक् तद्दृश्यं दृक्तुमानसं दृश्यादिवृत्तयः साक्षी दृगेव न तु दृश्यते sorry excuse me नीलपीतस्थूलसूक्ष्मह्रस्वदीर्घादिभेदतः नानाविधानि रूपाणि पश्येल्लोचनमेकधा आन्द्यमान्द्यपटुत्वेषु नेत्रधर्मेषु चैकधा संकल्पयेन्मनश्रोत्रत्वगादौ योज्यतामिदम् कामसङ्कल्पसन्देहौ श्रद्धा श्रद्धे धृतीतरे धीर्धीर्भीरित्येवमादीन् भासयत्येकधा चितिः नोदेति नास्तमेत्येषा न वृद्धिं याति न क्षयम् स्वयं विभात्यथान्यानि भासयेत् साधनं विना चिच्छाया वेशतौ बुद्धौ भानन्धीस्तु द्विधा स्थिता एकाहङ्कृतिरन्या स्यात् अन्तःकरणरूपिणी छायाहङ्कारयोरैक्यं तप्तायः पिण्डवन्मतं तदहङ्कारतादात्म्यात् देहश्चेतनतामगात् अहङ्कारस्य तादात्म्यं चिच्छाया देहसाक्षिभिः सहजं कर्मजं भ्रान्तिजन्यं च त्रिविधं क्रमात् सम्बन्धिनोः सतोर्नास्ति निवृत्तिः सहजस्य तु कर्मक्षयात् प्रबोधात् च निवर्तेते क्रमादुभे अहङ्कारलये सुप्तौ भवेद्देहोऽप्यचेतनः अहङ्कारविकासार्धः स्वप्नः सर्वस्तु जागरः अन्तःकरणवृत्तिश्च चिच्छायैक्यमागता वासनाः कल्पयेत् स्वप्ने बोधेक्षैर्विषयान् बहिः मनोऽहङ्कृत्युपादानं लिङ्गमेकं जडात्मकम् अवस्थात्रयमन्वेति जायते म्रियते तथा. Pranams to the Lord. Pranams to all the Mahatmas in tonight's session. Apologies for a lot of pause during the chanting. We are in a beautiful phase now. We have understood clearly levels of Drg and the Drishya Vivechana, all the three levels we have clearly understood. Then we went a step forward. We understood the reflecting material is nothing but our mind, and the mind which is divided into two aspects pertaining to DrgDrishya, the Ahankara aspect and the rest of the mind, all the other three components. And this Ahankara is the reflecting material where we get the reflected consciousness, and because of that, the Deha, actually the first the subtle body, then the gross body, everything comes into alive because of this particular Ahankara we saw. And this Ahankara is in such a way that tadatmya, that oneness it achieves with the body, is so much that I start to feel that I am the body, where I should have always maintained I am the consciousness, but I don't feel. So I'm giving importance now to the reflected consciousness. So we were seeing all this, and then there was a beautiful simile that came in between about the hot iron ball. So iron, which is normally cold and heavy, but when with fire, it gets the attribute of the fire, and the fire gets the attribute of the iron ball, the shape and the form the fire gets. So we saw this, that how the Ahankara gets into a tadatmya of the oneness. It mixes. All this Vivechana that we were doing is on the individual self, about me, and then how I am born, what is my existence. So it was all on the individual self that was happening. Whatever is the experience with whether it is I'm in the waking state, I'm in the sleep state or dream state, everything was pertaining to the individual self. So now we are going to climb one more step higher. What is there in the macrocosm? So how in my individual level, I distinguished between the Drg and the Drishya. What happens in the outer world? At the cosmic level, at a higher picture, what is the scene over there? The scene is the same, but over there the names are changing a little bit. Then we are calling it Brahman and it's Maya. So, but what is this? So we'll now we are getting into this particular where you are saying world is not real, but I am seeing that is as real. It's my experience. So you can't deny this device is not in front of me. You can't deny that you are not hearing me, you are not seeing. I'm perceiving the world. Then how can it be not true? Because if it's only reflected consciousness, then, but everything I feel so insentient, everything is existent, I'm feeling. So I'm not feeling Brahman anywhere. I see me, I see you, and I see the world. How can you say that the world is not there? That's my basic point now. So everything, okay, I understood. This is the seer that is there. Okay, the Drug, this, and all that is insentient. It is small. Everything was true. Okay, fine. But I can't deny the world. So this Jagat, now we are getting into higher picture. So at the individual level, we took one baby step. We understood the initial verses. Now a little more bigger step so that we can encompass the whole world. So when we are talking Jagat, DrgDrishya uses the word Srishti over there, but both mean one and the same. In our loose layman, we will talk as God, but over here it will be talked as Brahman. Okay, so we will see what the verse is saying, and then we will come back to it. Before we get into it, one nice definition of Jagat, because Jagat is not going to get used over here. It's going to be only Srishti. Jagat, we can say, what is Jayate? Jagat, Jayate, which is getting birth, which is getting. Then Gachati, that which goes, which dies also. In between birth and death, what happens? Tishtati, which stays. So Jayate, Gachate, and Tishtati. That is our Jagat. But now we'll come back to this so that we will know what is actually coming and going, and what is staying, and what doesn't come and go. So that we'll have to now have a clear understanding. At my level, I understood. But when it comes to the world, when I'm thrown out in the world, out of my Vedanta class, then I am different. I have all my worldly problems, my own health issues, or probably health issues of family members, whatever it is, or something challenging at workplace, something, or loss of job, or change of job, whatever. So many things are happening, right? Financial condition, health condition, so many issues, and we feel everything is true. So of course that is true. So if a realized master comes, if a meeting Swamiji, Swamiji is not going to say, oh, no, you all what you're saying is a lie. It's not a true thing. It's a dream. He'll say, okay, Swamiji doesn't understand only what my life is about. He doesn't know. He's not married. He will, otherwise he would have understood. So no, Swamiji is tell, okay, yes, they give, they nod their heads. Yes, you have this. Then okay, you must do like this, like this. So nobody denies, okay, the world is not there and the problem is not there. So it would still exist. So we will see first, and then we will see how to deny it or accept it or go about it or go around it or go through it, what we have to do with all the daily experiences that we have as a Vedantin, as a seeker. What should be our attitude? Okay, so now let's start. Who is going to come today? Pushpaji, you can come to chant. Shaktidvayam hi mayayaha. So we have to give a visarga over there when we open the sandhi.
Shaktidvayam hi mayayaha. Shaktidvayam hi mayayaha.
Vikshepa vritirupakam.
Vikshepa-vritirupakam. Vikshepa-vritirupakam.
Vikshepa shaktirlingadi brahmandantam jagat srijet.
Vikshepa-shaktirlingadi brahmandantam jagat srijet. Vikshepa-shaktirlingadi brahmandantam jagat srijet. Shaktidvayam hi mayayaha. Vikshepa-vrittirupakam. Vikshepa-shaktirlingadi brahmandantam jagat srijet. Should I say one more time? Shaktidvayam hi mayayaha. Vikshepa-vrittirupakam. Vikshepa-shaktirlingadi brahmandantam jagat srijet.
Lingadi brahmandantam is one word. There's no pada bhet over there. Shaktidvayam hi mayayaha. Vikshepa vritirupakam. Vikshepa shaktirlingadi brahmandantam jagat srijet. So first we'll understand the word meaning. What is happening over here? Shaktidvayam. Two Shaktis. Two powers. Of what? Maya yaha. Of Maya. Shashti. Ekvachan Maya, Maya yaha. Shashti. Of Maya, there are two powers. What are those powers? Vikshepa and Avriti. Rupakam. So they are in the form of, they are in the nature of Vikshepa and Avriti. We will see what is Vikshepa and Avriti in a while. So Vikshepa Shakti. So now it explains immediately this verse, verse half, and the next verse is going to explain the Vikshepa Shakti. What does this Vikshepa Shakti do? Lingadi Brahmandanta. Lingadi means, Linga we know, last verse we have seen, is a subtle body. So Linga Adi, starting from Linga, Brahmanda, till Brahmanda, whatever is there, it's all projected. Jagat Srijet, and it creates the world. Starting from our subtle body to whatever is existing in this world, till the Brahmanda means everything. is this Vikshepa Shakti. This is how it is defined over here. Now, mark this verse. If you are not memorizing the whole of DrgDrishya, at least this verse you need to memorize. It clearly tells now the existence. Now we have got one, some word is thrown at us called as Maya. And because of that, we are feeling that the world is existing is the answer given over here. And what is this Maya? This Maya is a power. And this Maya power, it says it has got two main Shaktis, two powers this Maya has. One is a Vikshepa and one is a Avruti. So Vikshepa means one that projects. Avruti means one that hides. So wheeling power and projecting power. Because something is hidden, because something we don't see the way it has to be seen, the mind projects in the way we feel our mind is, according to our mental texture. So first, actually, ignorance should happen, and then the projection comes. But in the verse, first projection is mentioned, then the wheeling is mentioned, and the explanation which is going to follow in the following verses is also going to be in the same sequence. First projection is said, and then the wheeling is said. I don't even know the word Brahman. Okay. So that much wheeling I'm having. First I know is the world existing. The first I'm seeing is the projection power. So it starts from my experience first and then goes to the cause. So though the cause should be the first, but in my experience, it's not there like that. In my experience, the world is fantastic existing. When I'm happy, the world is good. And sad, the world is so very bad and full of evil things happening. So it's again on my mental texture, I'm projecting the world. So my projections are first, my first-hand experience. So it's experience first and it's uncomplicated. The complication is the wheeling. So it's going to come later. Now, very beautifully it has said that whatever means the form from that subtle body onwards, this projection is starting. Vedanta's best example is the snake and the rope. Unbeatable example. You can see the snake on the rope only when you are not understanding that is a rope. The moment you have understand it is a rope, you will never see snake into it. It ceases only. There is no snake only. But till you don't know, the first thing when it is projected as a snake to you, probably the light is dim and the way the rope is lying is like a snake. Now, the moment you have seen the snake, everything has happened. Heartbeat has gone higher. Mind has either frozen you to the place or has made you run away from that. Palpitation has there, probably you're sweating also. All the fear has come, or probably you have imagined that it is moving and coming towards you to bite also. Maybe the neighboring plant thorn or something must have touched your body. You must have imagined that the snake has bitten you also. Everything has projected in that fraction of time. And depending upon your mental reaction, out of that, what pricked of a plant or something, you must have fainted out of snake bite poison also in your mind. And you have fainted physically also. All this has happened. But there was no actually snake, no poison was also there. Nothing had bitten you. It was just probably some thorn of the neighboring tree or something just touched which you felt like a bite. But now what happens? And you describe also the snake. Oh, it was 8 feet long. It was 2 inch, 3 inch, 4 inch thick. You will see the snake as much as the size of the rope is there. You will see the thickness of the snake and that as much as the rope's thickness. Whatever is that rope's thing is snake size and shape. And you will describe it nicely. But now let's say somebody throws a torch on it. And you are seeing, it was just a rope. Why did I see it like that? Now, even if you want to see the snake, you don't see the snake on it. It is gone. Once you got the knowledge of the rope, that whatever was imposed on it, it is gone. Keep this one example in mind. Now come to a desert land. So you're walking, you are thirsty, far you see some water. You go there. There is no water there. It was only a mirage. It just appeared with that sun rays, that sand, shining sand appeared like a water. You turn away and come back. As you're walking back, you again turn to see anywhere water is there. You see the same place. You see the water. But now you don't go over there. Because now you know that is not a water, it is just a mirage. So, the illusion has not gone. The illusion is existing, but now you know the truth, so you don't react to it and go again back towards it. In a snake and a rope, now you see only the rope. The illusion doesn't come back. You don't see the snake again on it because now you've already seen the rope. It's only when you don't see, you have projected it. Over here, the illusion remains, but now you act out of knowledge. We can take similar, another example is the blueness of the sky. So sky is fascinating, nice and blue. But now when in the physics, we learn that it is not blue, and we look at the sky, it doesn't make any difference. Though it is not blue, it is still appearing to blue. We are okay with that. So that reality, now we have accepted that it is not blue, but by being it blue or not blue, it is not making us any difference anymore. We know it is not there. It is only our appearance. And we go about and carry out our work, whatever. It is not affecting us anymore. Now, we take all these points and we see how the projection is happening. Something where the knowledge is half or hidden, the mind works. That's the power. And that's the nature of this Maya. You will probably not know that I can sing well. Or probably you will know that I don't have a voice at all and I don't sing at all. But let's say we can imagine anything, any example. Let's say I sing very well. You don't know anything. Then now when I sing, that which was there in me has come out. Oh, Varsha is a good singer. So you could, that Shakti is expressed, but where was it? It was in me only. Can this singing power be separate from me? That this is Varsha and this is her singing power. That ability is, it cannot be separated. It is that power within me. Where will Maya be? Maya will always be with Brahman only. The substratum on which Maya is. From there she is projecting. It's the power of the Lord. So Maya, if you say is illusion, it is hidden. It's illusion. It's only projected. You see it on a standpoint. From a Brahman standpoint, nothing is, the whole world is only him, including his Maya is him only. From our standpoint, we see separately. Are we seeing now what is the projection happening? When a pot maker makes the pot, we buy the pot, we don't buy the pot maker. So we have the creator separate of that pot, but the intrinsic factor, the mud, comes along with the pot. Pot is nothing but the mud. There is no separate existence called as pot. It's mud. Pot is a name given to that mud. If the shape of a cup or the utility value is changed, then the name may be a saucer, maybe a cup, maybe whatever, a jug, maybe a flower vase, maybe whatever it is. So that capacity, that creator, he didn't pervade into the pot, the pot maker. So in this example, what I'm trying to give you is two distinct things, but the material came into it. But in this world, the example, this maker is not separate from the world that is projected. And this maker pervades everything along with its power. This power is not separate from the Lord. It is within it. So now we take example that will fit to this completely. Is our dream. Marina Bay is there, this building is there, that restaurant is there, everything is there, all people are there, my experience are there, everything, bank is there, everything is there. All separate from me. That's my experience in my waking stage. I fall asleep, not deep, my mind is projecting. The bank is there, the marina is there, my money is there, people are there, my relatives are there, everything is there in my dream. And probably I get a lot of money somehow. Everything is there in that dream. What is the material of that? Material is my own material. It's actually not the earth and what is seen outside. Where it is projected? It is projected in me. Who is the projector? I am the projector. The one that I see as me, who is it? It's me. And one now as I see as a bank manager, who it is there? That is also me. Everything is me. Where? In my dream. All the money I have. Okay, fine. When I wake up, money value is there? No, nothing is there. That bank manager and all is not. But when in my dream, whatever I created, sea, mountain, tree, animal, people, building, they all were in me as my creation. And I pervaded that whole thing. And it was separate. My dream might be different from yours, not might be, is definitely as per my mental projection, as per my experiences. One more example, spider. It creates the web and then it only swallows it. Where the material came for that. Material came from within it. It didn't buy the material separately. So what we are trying to tell over here in all this discussion, the concluding point is, from the Brahman standpoint of view, everything is him. There is no two distinct thing. This Maya Shakti veiling and projection comes from my standpoint of view. If tomorrow I get realized, where is Maya? Maya is existing. If I get realization tomorrow, okay, the Marina Bay will not exist and this will not. No, everything is existing. My reaction doesn't change to it. Okay. So what we have to understand, the projections that come out of that is the natural aspect of it. How much my attachment and my owning of that is giving me the intensity of my problems. The sky is going to stay blue and I'm okay with that. Now I no more run after that water which I saw it as a mirage after my first experience. I know about that. I don't. I'm no more afraid of that rope which was lying there in that semi-darkness. I don't. So a realized person, he wanders in the world of Maya. Doesn't matter for him anymore because now he knows what he's seeing. He's no more going after that. He revels in his own self. But for you and me, we have to yet get over there. So we have to rise above this projection power and the wheeling power, the example which we will be seeing probably not in today's class, maybe in the next class. But what is happening is this projection that we are reacting to is we will have to remember. That is coming as a power of the Maya. Maya is of the Lord only. Maya is not a separate. Can you describe her? Can you negate her? Yes, we can negate at the time of marriage. Do you know her starting point? No, she exists. Is there a death for her? Only after the knowledge, but she continues to exist. So something who's not going to be there, we cannot say. Something which is there also, you cannot say, because she's not going to be there permanently. At my knowledge, she's going to go. So something which we cannot describe. We cannot deny her existence nor her non-existence, because at the moment this is a reality. The snake was a reality for me. When I saw that snake, that was a reality. Later on I knew that it is not a reality, but that time, there was a reality for that. So that is my experience. So you cannot say that Maya is not there. It is there because it's an illusion. It existed. After I got the knowledge, it's not there. So this is indescribable property. Something we cannot say it exists, and whose existence we cannot deny. Both are there. How do you describe this? So that is Maya. So you have to come out of that is the aim, but again, not by logical discussion only. So towards the end, we will be seeing nice good steps are going to come for this. Okay. So we will add one next shloka into this, and then we will discuss the same aspect in different angle. Okay. Dharani ji, you can come over. सृष्टिर्नाम ब्रह्मरूपे
सृष्टिर्नाम ब्रह्मरूपे
नाम ब्रह्म
सृष्टिर्नाम ब्रह्मरूपे
नाम, you stress on ma to get the bra.
सृष्टिर्नाम ब्रह्मरूपे
सच्चिदानंद वस्तुनि
सच्चिदानन्दवस्तुनि सच्चिदानन्दवस्तुनि
cut it short. वस्तुनि अब्धौ फेनादिवत् सर्वनाम रूप प्रसारणा
अब्धौ फेनादिवत् सर्वनामरूप प्रसारणा अब्धौ फेनादिवत् सर्वनामरूप प्रसारणा सृष्टिर्नाम ब्रह्मरूपे सच्चिदानन्दवस्तुनि अब्धौ फेनादिवत् सर्वनामरूप प्रसारणा सृष्टिर्नाम ब्रह्मरूपे सच्चिदानन्दवस्तुनि अब्धौ फेनादिवत् सर्वनामरूप प्रसारणा
सृष्टिर्नाम ब्रह्मरूपे सच्चिदानन्दवस्तुनि अब्धौ फेनादिवत् सर्वनामरूप प्रसारणा. So this Vikshepa Shakti description is continuing. So it's both, it's a continuation. Now what happens over here? What is Srishti? Srishti Nama. What is Srishti? What is this world? World, what we see is all these names that we have given: sea, mountain, ocean, tree, building, cars, whatever. Whatever we see, whatever we hear, taste, everything from whatever our sense organ collects is the world. 5 sense organs goes to its Vishaya and collects those things. This is the taste, mango season. Okay, Alfonsos are best, probably. Started coming in the market, this. Okay, you gave a name of all the mangoes, Alfonso, and that sweetness. So now that season is. Then you hear some good music. Okay, we are doing now Venkatesha Suprabhata. It's such a nice thing to hear in the morning, whatever. It was nice rainy day. It was cool. It's no more hot now in Singapore. Fine. Okay. All your feeling, all your taste, all from the world, you have collected this information. So these names and forms. So what is Srishti? Srishti is the Srishti Nama. Srishti means Brahma Rupe, in the Brahma Rupa, in the reality. The reality is how? Satchidananda Vastuni, in that Sat existence, Chit, the consciousness, Ananda, the bliss, in that Vastu, in that Brahma Rupa, it is just a manifestation of Nama and Rupa. Sarva Nama Rupa Prasarana, manifestation of names and forms. What is world? World is manifestation of names and forms in this Satchidananda Brahman. This is the one part, the first, second, and the fourth part. Third part of the sentence is the Drishtanta. Drishtanta is given over here. Example is given as Abdhau Phenadivat. Phena is the foam. Abdhau means in the ocean. What we see in the ocean? One big wave comes. It gives rise to multiple small waves. Those small waves, by the time it is touching the shore, some foam is formed. And it sometimes remains as small bubbles and all things over there and the foam of the ocean. Now we saw so many things in that ocean in that. But the content of that foam, small wave, big wave, bubble, what is it? It is the oceanic water only, right? Is it something different that has come from the ocean? That the foam was different and that ocean is different. So as per whatever changes it happened, it got different name for the different form. Like in the previous one, I just gave the example of that clay, and as per the utility value, the clay can be a cup, a mug, a flower vase, or a pot, or whatever, a cooking vessel, anything as per the utility value. So we have the definition of what is the world. Srishti Nama. Srishti means fourth quarter, Sarva Nama Rupa Prasarana, manifestation of all names and forms. I heard one husband saying, any festival comes, my wife becomes happy when I buy gold for her. It's a fantastic way to make her happy. So I buy sometimes necklace, sometimes whatever. So, oh, you're a very loving husband, everybody thought. Then he says, no, it's just the investment in the gold. So for a wife, it sometimes she got a necklace, sometimes she got a bangle, sometimes she got a earring. And husband is so fantastic and loving. For him, it was very clear. Okay, 10 sovereigns, this is a waistband. Next is so much earring. He invested only in gold. So for him, it was not a love probably, or probably making to see his wife happy is probably just one of the projection. But he calculated so much gold is there, so much investment is sitting out over there. Swami Sarvapriyananda gave this example of, he said because Swami Ramakrishna, he gave the example of somebody went to pawn his Ganesha statue. Means you just hypothecate that and give. And then when in the pawn shop, he calculated whatever the money was for that Ganesha. And then there was his vehicle also with it, mouse. So for mouse, how much? He said, the shopkeeper says the same amount. He said, oh, you don't know any religion or what? Ganesh and the mouse, how can it be same? For the shopkeeper, it was that gold value only. It doesn't see Ganesh or it doesn't see the mouse. What is the gold into it? That's all is being seen into it. So this projection power is everything in the Satchidananda Vastu. What are we seeing? We are seeing names and forms and we are getting attracted. I like this and I don't like this. But basically everything is Satchidananda only. What else we need? Correct. It's a very coming back again to the drishya, to different forms we react differently, to different people we react differently. We don't see the power behind that, the Brahma Tattva behind that. I like this and I don't like this. We are making differentiations basically in our minds, but we are not uniting and going it back to the form. It could be probably the dress I'm wearing. We can start from there. It's a cotton dress made of what? Several threads of cotton. Cotton came from where? From that plant. The plant came from what? From that seed. The seed from where? From the earth. Earth from where? The water. Water from where? From the fire. From fire from where? The wind. The wind from where? Akasha. Akasha from where? Going back everything back to Brahman. The thoughts were in the mind. Mind where? Brahman. Every point, whatever, whether it is a sentient, insentient vastu, it can be traced back to Brahman only. But we don't keep that sense. We got happy like that wife with earring or a necklace or a bangle with the shape and the form, with the name and the utility value, or we just got stuck at the superficial aspect. We didn't see behind that what it was. So this Viveka, this projection of what we are doing is duality, multiplicity. There is no end to that. How many things are there in the world, if we say? Is that all? No, there will be so many things yet. There is no end for the creation. I just gave example probably because it's a season of mango and I said Alfonso mango. But if we take one plant kingdom, in that if we divide, okay, whatever, then okay, we come to the fruit section. In that fruit section, if we divide and if we have narrowed down to Alfonso mango, there will be some South Indians saying, oh, what is Alfonso? Some South Indian mango name will come and say, this mango is the best. Have you not had this? This is the best. And somebody in another state would say, this mango is the best. So it is again a perception. Within the fruit itself, there will be so many, what we can say, variety. So the point we are saying that there is no end of projection. Whatever we are projecting is at the level of Nama and Rupa. It's a Sarva Nama Rupa Prasarana. That striking thing we'll have to underline over there. That is projection. That is the projecting power. That is the power it has, Maya has. There is no end for her projecting ways. She can how many thoughts we can generate? Right now, if you're sitting in the class and probably I uttered Alfonso, somebody must have gone to Ratnagiri 10 times and come back. Or somebody must have marked, okay, then tomorrow let me see where I have to go to. Maybe Mustafa has it. Maybe somewhere in Little India, some shopkeeper must have had it. Okay, Little India has come, then let me go to Jyoti store. You're sitting in the class, but one Alfonso's mango's utterance has put you to Ratnagiri. In that same speed, it has put you on the Little India street. Same speed, it has gone to different shop. And in that shop, you have planned something else, which is not related to the mango also. It's just projected, it just vanished. The classes of the DrgDrishya, but mind, physical body, there won't be any relation. So mind is gone. It is gone and projected and planned your tomorrow's day, probably the next week also, probably the menu also it has planned. It changed sitting over here. Its eyes are there on the screen, but projections Projections can be so many. There is no end for a projection. That is Maya. That is Maya. Variety of songs I can generate because there is a singing ability. But that power is whose? Maya can exhibit only on a substratum. Movie can have whatever scenes, fire, flood, fighting, murder, everything. Nothing is happening on that substratum where it is getting projected. Neither that screen got wet, nor caught fire, not got tone, nothing happened. But without that substratum, it couldn't project. If there is no screen, how do you project a movie? So on the substratum, things are happening, but things are not affecting the reality. Without the Brahman, she is not having any existence. Because of that, she has borrowed that sentiency, that isness is borrowed. The Sat aspect is borrowed. Anything what we are going to say is of Brahman. The Sat aspect is Brahma Rupa. Isness. Whatever I say, this is. Anything we add beyond that is not of Maya. So she has borrowed and she has projected it as her. So if we get this very clear, that she acts on the substratum, she is not the substratum. From there it is projected. Then we will link it towards the end, whether how it is coming as I am the body, which we saw in the previous thing as an individual thing. We will have to connect it at all the planes. So at the moment now we are doing with the macroscopic aspect of. So she is Anadi, but she is not. But she is not Ananta. After the knowledge of that individual person, she is Anadi. Brahman is Ananta, Anadi and Ananta. After the knowledge, Maya, I don't come into the bounds of the knowledge. The rope is rope for me after that. So it can project, but I don't get stopped at her projection. I don't get fooled. I don't get illusion. This means there's no more disillusion for me. So there comes a clarity with knowledge. If I get knowledge, will everybody in the individual, all the world will get? If Swamiji's got the knowledge, means all his Shishyas got? No, not yet. So that would be the individual, because the texture of that mind has to change. So as long as I am keeping this kind of a vision with Nama Rupa getting happy or excited or whatever, as long as I'm having this, there is duality. At the knowledge, when there is oneness seen, it doesn't appear there like that. But I act. All our Swamijis, we can take example. They see the oneness, but when you tell them problem, they don't deny your problem. They will subtly remove that. So here we will hold on to this thought of Maya's projection ability. This is going to be a simple aspect. The complicated aspect starts from the next verse onwards, which is the wheeling part. And this is the topic set for the rest of our DrgDrishya. We are dealing with the Maya. Projecting aspect is just finished now. So projecting is not something very tough to. The wheeling power is something very tough to deal with. And then there are levels of the wheeling power that we'll have to see. So that we'll see in the next class. Let me not include in today because the topic gets then too much. We can dwell over this week over the projection aspect of hers. And then we go ahead. Till verse 21, we are going to have this kind of a thought flow. And then comes verse 22. Onwards till the end, it would be the sadhana aspect, how to meditate, what to do, how to clear this. So one stage was the seer and the seen, and now this stage is the karya karana, the cause and the effect. So what we saw today is the cause and the effect aspect at the macroscopic level. At the individual level, it was the DrgDrishya, seen and the seer. And then we will combine that towards the end. But now this topic till verse 21, we will be dwelling on the same thing in different ways. We'll not probably go to the projection aspect so much, but the wheeling aspect, from where, when that is the thing, that why I don't see the reality. Now it's being told, I know what the books are going to say, I've heard it so many times, but still that ignorance doesn't go, no? Still it is hidden only, right? Still that I am that infinite is not yet coming, correct? I know I am infinite, but I know it's not coming to me. I still have my physical sufferings as a priority. I still see that rope and my palpitation is on. Where is that light coming? So that will see the ways from 22 onwards. But why that ignorance? How is ignorance existing? That we'll see in the next class. The power of Maya, Avruti. This is our next topic. So let's stop over here. Do I have any questions?
So what is vritti then? Avritti.
Avritti is a wheeling power. Vikshepa is the projecting power, and the veiling power, something which is having a hiding power, is a Avritti. Avarana, covering power. So that Avarana we are going to see in the next session. Today we have just seen only the Vikshepa. The projection happens. Projection happens because of Avarana. But projection to deal is easy. Avarana to deal is little tougher. My first thing is the world I see, right? My first thing, ignorance I don't see. If you tell I am ignorant and the world is illusion, I'll say, you please keep the Vedanta class to yourself. Let me enjoy the world. I'm not a party to your foolish thinking. Somebody who is not a seeker will tell you. So there is a reality to the world. So we cannot deny that. There is a reality to the world. So we have dealt that. The projecting power we have dealt, because that's what we see first thing. But why is it that we will wait and see? Because that requires little work on the mind. I hope I have answered your question.
Varshaji, so this projecting power is like para prakriti and apara prakriti of what we learned in Bhagavad Gita. The Maya is para prakriti and Brahman is apara prakriti.
Something, okay, we can say it in that aspect. So something which is at the individual level and something which is at a higher level. This is what you are trying to say, but it is not just that. Why it is getting projected? Why I'm seeing multiplicity, this duality. This duality is Maya's Vikshepa power. Knowledge will be towards it, that we will see. But this duality, I can't stop this duality. I'm seeing, right? I'm not seeing oneness. Okay, you and me are one. No, probably I can say to my friends, but definitely not to the relatives in the house. It's like that. So why is it so much separate? Because that like and dislike, that mixture in the mind is so strong of the gunas. We are doing the 7th chapter, right? Mama Maya Duratya, he says. Then there are so many aspects into it. We'll see one by one. And he also says, Tribher Gunamayi Resha. All 7th chapter is all that of Bhagavad Gita, where according to the guna we are projecting. According to the guna, our likes and dislikes. And what we do according to that, the mental texture is forming. Whether I like to sleep or indulge into activities or indulge into sattvic activities, still the truth is not realized in all the three states. So we are still far away from. Yeah, we'll go slowly. Let's see what Swamiji will also have to say as we get closer to this completion.
Varshaji,
Ji.
Varshaji, so Brahman is there and Maya is actually a part of it, is it? Or is it, how would you, I mean, it, like you were giving an example of the ocean and the foam.
No, I'm giving example of me and my singing ability.
Mm-hmm.
Can
It's
my
part of
singing
you.
ability, but can my singing ability be separate from me?
No.
That is my hidden Shakti.
Mm.
It will express out when it's needed to sing.
Okay.
It's not separate. It's a part. It needs a substratum to hold on to. Individually, Shakti is not sitting somewhere. It cannot. It has to be on a substratum. I answered your question, Natachi.
So it's also like a screen and the film on it, isn't it?
Exactly.
Like,
yes.
Yeah. Okay.
What is vritti, if there is such a word? Understand, you will touch more on. Vritti is a thought. Yeah, I hope I've answered that question. What is vritti, if there is such a word? Understand, you will touch more on avritti. Wheeling power topic we are doing next class. Wheeling power we have not touched only. Vritti means a thought. So that's not nothing to do with avritti. It's not avritti. It's avritti, single tha. Vritti is double tha. Okay, so let's end tonight's session. Something to think, something for our mind to project for this week is the Vikshepa Shakti of Maya. Hold your spine straight, close your eyes, take a deep breath in and exhale. Take a deep breath in and exhale. Take a deep breath in, hold it there. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Shri Krishnarpanamastu. Hari Om, everyone. See you all next
Hari Om,
week.
Varshaji. Thank you.
you. Thank you very much.
Hari Om. Thank you.
Hari Om. Thank you, Varshaji.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, Varshaji.
Hari Om.
Thank you for the clarity.
My pleasure. Thank you, Gabriella.